Greetings, everyone. Welcome to CAP Safety's Health and Wellness Safety Briefing on poison ivy, oak, and sumac. During this briefing, you will gain an increased awareness of how to recognize poison ivy, poison oak, and poison sumac, what you can do to protect yourself from exposure to these plants, and steps you can take to treat a rash caused by exposure to poison ivy. First, we would like to give you an overview of today's topic. Many people are allergic to poison ivy, poison oak, and poison sumac. It is the oil produced by these plants called urushiol, which can produce a rash. All of these plants are poisonous year-round. Poison ivy and its cousins grow in almost all parts of the USA and in many other countries. In the continental United States, poison sumac grows primarily in wet areas in the eastern half of the country. Poison oak, which looks similar to poison ivy, tends to grow in dry, sandy areas in the southeast. Poison ivy has two forms, eastern and western. Western poison ivy is a ground vine only. The plants overlap and are hard to tell apart. Eastern poison ivy can grow on the ground, climb trees and walls, and even appear to be a shrub. Eastern poison ivy is a ubiquitous presence in the Midwestern and eastern United States, requiring constant awareness. Western poison ivy is not as prevalent and is seen as less of a problem. Let's start with examples of poison ivy and poison oak. Poison ivy is found nearly everywhere in the continental United States. While there are minor differences in the specific appearances of each form of poison ivy, they are nearly indistinguishable and carry the same poisonous oil. Poison oak is less common than poison ivy. The diagram on the left shows poison ivy leaves can look like poison oak leaves. It can be difficult to tell them apart. However, what they have in common can help you to identify them. Poison ivy and poison oak both have leaves of 3, grow left to right, and never have thorns. The leaves are never sawtoothed or scalloped. Now, let's look at an example of poison sumac. Poison sumac, Toxicodendron vernix, is related to the poison ivies and poison oaks, not to other sumacs. It is rare compared to the other members of the family. The rash-causing agent, urushiol, is the same, and it causes the same rash. While poison sumac is rare, it can be found in wetlands, and when you find it there, you may find quite a bit. In this picture, you can see the growing tip of a poison sumac tree. Notice how the end leaf has a little side leaf. Some stalks have the little extra leaf, while others do not. This is a picture of poison ivy, Toxicodendron radicans. Note how the vine uses the hairy rootlets to attach itself to the wall. However, keep in mind the vines can be smooth or hairy, and can also have both appearances at different points along the vine. Here is another picture of poison ivy. When you see leaves of 3, like this, leave it alone and proceed with caution. A useful way of remembering this can be the saying, leaves of 3, let it be. Now, let's focus on preventing the rash. First, avoid contact if possible. Be aware of your surroundings and use your knowledge of poisonous plants to recognize and avoid them. If you suspect that you have been in contact with poison ivy, immediately wash the exposed skin with soap and warm water, or use Technu, a special soap that removes poison ivy oil. This must be done within 2 hours to be effective. Make sure to wash your clothing. Standard laundry soap will disperse the oil. And wash your tools. The oil can remain on clothing and tools for months. The rash is not contagious. You cannot get a rash from someone who has the poison ivy rash. Avoid burning poison ivy. The smoke can carry the oil. Wear long sleeves and pants when working in dense vegetation. And wear gloves and eye protection if there is a possibility of accidental contact. What are some potential treatments for the poison ivy rash? You can manage mild to moderate poison ivy at home.
Cool, wet compresses and oatmeal baths are soothing.
Heat, a hot shower or hairdryer, will cause the rash to itch intensely for a short time, but may eliminate the itch for up to 8 hours. Calamine lotion helps to dry up oozing areas. Non-prescription hydrocortisone cream can be helpful as well.
The rash usually lasts 7 to 14 days.
Lastly, let's discuss the treatment of severe poison ivy. If you develop a severe rash that is covering an increasingly large area of your body, consider seeking medical assistance. A course of an oral steroid, like prednisone or Decadron, can allow the rash to resolve. Do this promptly, or the steroid will have little effect. Don't discontinue the steroid too early, or the rash could recur. Thank you for reviewing this presentation. Remember to take the quiz in Axis to receive monthly safety education credit. This briefing is also located on our safety briefing webpage, located at gocivilairpatrol.com. This presentation was prepared by the Health Services Team Senior Program Manager, Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Layton, MD, of the Sugar Valley Composite Squadron, NC-052. Narration by Captain Steve Wojciechowicz of the National Safety Team and the Bellingham Composite Squadron, WA-015. You can visit www.poison-ivy.org for additional information on poison ivy. Remember, monthly safety education is the key to helping all members in a wide variety of scenarios, and you can use this presentation to educate members during their CAP activities and in their daily lives. Every unit safety officer is required to provide their members with a safety education briefing each month. Please contact us at safety@capnhq.gov with any questions or if you would like to submit any safety-related materials. You may also contact your region, wing, or unit health services officer with questions. Have a great day and be safe.